Hello my people, welcome to another tutorial. My name is Agnes. In today's tutorial I will show you how I made this fringe bralette. It's quite easy to make and you can make it in any size that you like. The fringe can be made shorter, longer, shaped in any way that you like. I also made it in a single color and I actually loved it, and with a straight fringe, so you can just change up and do whatever you like. So we are just going to go straight into the tutorial. For the materials, you're going to need scissors, you're going to need a tape measure, and of course yarn. In the tutorial I'm using these 4 colors. This is Durable Coral by Durable Yarn, and it is 100% cotton. It is a size 2 yarn or sport yarn, and it is 50 grams or 125 meters each. I used about less than half of each. You can find more details on durableyarn.com, and for the hook size it recommends a 2.5 to 3.5 millimeter hooks. I will use a 2.5 millimeter hook, and these are my colors that I'm going with. Of course you can change this up when you like. The white is my main color. For the hook size, I'm going to be using a 2.5 millimeter hook, but you can use any other hook size recommended by your yarn. This is from Knit Pro, the hooks. All right. As you can see, the fringe is quite different. One is flat and the other one is a little bit with more shape, though it's not really, So you can switch this up, and how we're going to work it, we're going to start with the bra cups, work all the way one side to side, work 2 bra cups, then come put the shells and the strings, and then we'll come and do the tassels later. So for the bra cup, this is how it looks like. Of course, if you're changing colors, this is how it looks like, and if you're not changing colors, it's also quite a solid color that you can do. And we are going to start with a foundation chain. So you're going to chain a chain that runs from your underbust to your nipple. So you can just measure it on yourself, or take a tape measure and measure from your underbust to your nipple and then make that chain. As for me, mine is going to be 17 stitches, and I'm a size extra small. All right, so once you have your foundation chain, just measure this for you. This is about 3 inches, and this is what it is in centimeters, about 8 centimeters. Okay, so we are going to make a turning chain. So you're going to go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, which counts as the turning chain. Yarn over, skip the first 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain you're going to make a double crochet, and I'm making it in 2 loops so that it's a bit stronger. That's your first double crochet. Yarn over, and you're going to make double crochets in every stitch until you get to the end of the chain. In my case, I will have 17 double crochets. All right, so do that, and I'll see you at the end of the chain, where we'll come and make the tip of the bra cup by making increases. All right, so I have 16 double crochets, so I'm going to go into my last chain, and into that very last chain you're going to make 2 double crochets. So this is 17, and then into the same chain make another double crochet, and I make it 18 for me. So I made an increase here, then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to go into the same stitch and make another 2 double crochets. So another increase, which will be on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to be working between stitches here. Okay, so yarn over and these two, leave them alone. And so between the last 2 stitches and the last 3rd stitch, you're going to go in there, in between those 2 stitches, those 3 stitches, and then you're going to make a double crochet right in between. So for my whole bra cup, I'm working between the double crochets. Okay, so go into every space, there's no space, but between the double crochets, and work 1 double crochet all the way to the end, and I will see you at the end. So I'm coming to the end, and your last stitch is going to be between the double crochet and the chain 2 space in between the double crochet and the chain 2. That is your last stitch, and you should have same number of stitches on both sides, separated by a chain 1 at the tip. Okay, so mine is 18 on one side and the other side is also 18. So we are going to change color. If you're not changing color, so you're just going to continue, but since we are changing color, leave a long tail because we need that for the tassels or the fringe. So cut your yarn and get your second color. Mine is going to be white in between all the colors. So this is how I'm attaching it, but you can attach it whichever way you like. So before I finish the double crochet, when you still have 2 loops on the hook, I'm going to finish that double crochet with the new color. And then you're going to chain 2, turn your work, yarn over, and then between the first and second double crochets, you're going to make your first double crochet. So you're going to go in between all the double crochets, making 1 double crochet, and until you get to the tip, and then we'll make an increase. So I'll meet you once you get to that top. So we've come to the top, and you see where that's chain 1. We are going to make 2 double crochets in that chain 1 space. So 1 double crochet, and then make an increase by making another double crochet in the chain space, then chain 1, and into the same chain space make 2 double crochets, and then continue to make 1 double crochet in between the previous double crochets. And you're going to do that until you get to the bottom. And then we'll come change color one more time just to show you, and then we'll continue. So I go to the end. Your last stitch should be between the double crochet and the chain 2 space. Okay, so long tail, and then we're going to change to another color. If you're using one color, you're just going to keep going from one end to the other, which should be easy. Then you're going to chain 2 to start on row 3, turn your work, and between the first and second double crochets, you're going to make a double crochet. And you are going to continue with that same pattern, making double crochets. When you get to the top, it's 2 double crochets in the chain space and then separated by a chain 1. And you will do this until you have enough coverage for your bra. This is what I have. I did 8 rows, and in my other one I have 9 rows, so it's 5 inches wide, and you just continue adding more rows if you like more coverage. If you have bigger boobs, of course you're going to add more rows. Okay, so in my white one, it fits quite better with the coverage because I added one more row. This one I did one less row, so you can play around with that. Once you have the 2 bra cups, then we are going to join them and add the straps as well as the shell edging. Okay, so both sides look different, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with the side where we have the I think this side where we have the dominant white rows. Okay, so for the strap, see how this looks from the sides. Okay, that ties to your back. We are going to make a long chain, then attach it to the bra cups, and then go the bottom with single crochets, then attach the other bra cup, and then make a long chain on the other side of the strap that ties also to the back. Then come working single crochets, then the shell stitch, make the straps around the neck, come round with the shell stitch again, and then come down with the single crochets. I don't know if that makes sense, but let's do it. So first is the strap on the right, so I'm going to make a long chain that I'm sure will be able to tie, to the other side across my back. So I have my chain. This is how long it is, and now I'm going to attach this to one of the bra cups. Make sure they're on the same side. So in the very first stitch at the bottom of the bra cup, and I'm going to leave these strands, I tied knots so that they are secure, the ones that we're leaving at the bottom. So we are going to do single crochets along the bottom of the bra cup. So into that very first stitch, make a single crochet. I'm just dropping the strands at the back, the ones that we already have. Okay, so I'm going to go in evenly with single crochets across the bottom. Just putting these strands out of the way as you go. All right, so you get the point. Do that across the bottom. So it's now time to attach the second bra cup. So I will not leave any chains in between because I don't want so much space between my bra cups. So I'm just going to go straight into the first stitch of that second bra cup and make a single crochet. Okay, so do the same at the bottom of that bra cup, single crochets evenly across, and I will see you when you get to the end of that. Once your bra cups are attached, then we'll go and do the chain for the opposite side. Got the bra cups attached, single crochets across the bottom. So now we need another chain for the strap. So what you're going to do is going to chain the same length of the strap, and don't do it too long because you have to come back on them with single crochets, and you don't want to have that so many half double crochets, sorry, not single crochets. I went all the way with the chains. I have the same length. So now we're going to go and I'm just going to skip the first crochets, or you can use single crochets chain if you like. So I'll skip this one, and then yarn
skip
over,
2 chains, and into the
then
third
make
chain you're going
a
to make a half double crochet.
Yarn over, going
Then
to
I'm
the
going to
next
go
chain,
into
make
every
a half
chain
double
with a
crochet,
half double
and
crochet
I'm going to go
until I get to where
every
my bra
chain
cup
with
is,
a half
and
double
then
crochet
I'll meet you there. So in this case you can use
I
single
get
crochet, you can
to
use double crochet, you can use half
the
double
cup
crochet
again.
depending on how
Okay, and then
wide you want your strap to be. I went with half double crochet. So I came with half double crochets along the strap, and I'm back to this corner where I made my bra cup, and we're going to start on the shell stitches. So what you're going to do is just anchor this with a single crochet into that very first stitch. Okay, so now that we have the strap anchored to the bra cup, you're going to skip 1, 2, 3 into the 4th stitch. You're going to make 4 double crochets in that stitch because we are making the half shell, so make 4 double crochets, and then you chain 1, and into the same stitch you make another 4 half double crochets to complete that half shell. So that's how it looks like, and we are going to work half shells along this bra cup. So skip 3 into the 4th, make a single crochet. Okay, then skip 3 stitches into the 4th stitch, make another shell. That's 4 double crochets in 1 stitch, chain 1, 4 double crochets in the next stitch, in the same stitch, sorry. Then skip 3 stitches and then make a single crochet in the 4th stitch, and we are repeating this until the top. So as you can see, I only have 3 shells on this, and this I have 4. Because I have 1 more row on the plain one, and here I don't have enough stitches to make the shell, so here I'm going to make half a shell before I put the strap. So I'm just going to skip all these 4, and into that chain 1 I'm going to make my 4 double crochets. So you can switch this up depending on how many stitches you have to work with. So here I'm making half a shell, and I'm going to do a very long chain that can tie behind my neck, and then come back on it with single crochets, half double crochets, sorry. So I did my strap that ties around my neck, came back on it with half double crochets, and now I'm going to finish that shell as I go down. So into that same chain 1 space I'm going to make 4 double crochets to complete that shell, which is totally different from what I had on the other bralette that I did 9 rows, because yeah, I had a single crochet at the top in that chain 1, and here I have half a shell. So we're just going to skip the 5 stitches that I skipped just to match the other side. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then into the 5th, and make a single crochet. I make a shell in there just to match the opposite side, and we'll make our shell in there, chain 1, 4 double crochets in that same stitch, and the rest is going to be skip 3 into the 4th stitch, make a single crochet, and you're going to go down. As you can see, I have some stitches left. I don't want to go all the way down because I don't want my bralette open there. I kind of want it anchored, you know. So I'm just going to make a bit of single crochets all the way down, not all the way down, like 3 single crochets, and skip the same stitches on the other side, make 3 single crochets, we are just mirroring what we do on one side to the other side, then just go ahead and make shells. So on this inside side I only have 2 shells and a half because I did not work all the way down. But if you have nice firm boobs, of course you can work all the way down. If you see my friend's picture in the first when we started in the introduction, you can see that hers is all the way down and mine is like yeah, it has that, yeah, you know what I mean. I can't find the right word in English, but yeah, so you can work all the way down or just do it like me, depends on your preference. So we are just going to do the same thing on this brack up like we did on the other brack up. Go up, come down with half double crochets, do the shells on the side, and then single crochets on this other chain that we started with, and then you'll be done. And then we'll come and do the tassels or the fringe. All right, see you when you're done. So done with all the straps, and this is how it looks like in the end. Okay, so we are going to do the fringe, and for this you can make them as long as you like, but we'll cut them. So I just took this yeah, this is what I used to do the fringe. So I just wrap around, and it is like the length I want. So I will cut, just once I'm done, cut it into like half. Okay, so white is what I'm using more, and then the other colors just a little bit of each. So once I have it, I take it off and cut it into 2, and then I'm going to be using 2 strands for every tassel. Okay, so, and I'm mixing the colors, so white and another color for the tassel. And when you attach these, you can start on the strap, you can give yourself more stitches on the strap if you like more coverage, but I will just do a few on the strap and then the other just at the bottom. And I have my brack up facing this direction because I think it looks better. So yeah, you could do the same. So I'm just mixing 2 colors, white and another pink color, mixing them up as I just attach these fringes to the bottom. So it's just quite like that, and I'm going to go along the bottom all the way to the other side, and then once I'm done, then I will cut them in whichever shape you prefer. I think I should use a bigger hook, it becomes faster, because now this 2.5 is too small for that. So yeah, so go along the bottom and I'll see you when you're done with your fringe. So I did the fringe and this is how it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and just cut roughly the shape that I want. I want it like longer by the belly button, but yeah. All right, so I was done, and then I just used my hair straightener to kind of straighten them out because it's cotton, so it does the job without burning the yarn. And yeah, basically flat iron them, and it makes a very big difference actually. So yeah, so once I was done with that, I kind of combed them down, and this is how my top looks like. I hope you like it. If you do, leave a thumbs up, a comment, share this to other your groups, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.